Picture on the front is Kaycera Stops Pretty Places of Hardin, Montana. She was killed in 2019. Now, some of you may know, but most of you don't. In 2018, I tried to expose the missing women of Hardin, Montana. I got a grand total of 56 views in an entire year almost. 10 months after I made that post, a young woman disappeared, and her name was Selena Not Afraid. Now, Selena Not Afraid is also missing from Hardin, Montana, and she was found about a month later, a little over, New Year's. She went out with her friends. They stopped on the side of the road, and then they ran her off so that she would die of exposure. A horrible way to go. As somebody who's been extremely cold, I can say I would never wish that on anybody. Anyway, it was not the situation with Kaycera Stops Pretty Places that finally got them to do something. Matter of fact, they're not doing much. But I reported about the missing women of Hardin, Montana over a year, over 18 months, I should say, before anyone recognized that that is the epicenter for the missing and murdered indigenous people in America. Now, when Selena Not Afraid disappeared, I ended up going from 56 views on that post to almost 15,000 overnight. That's right, folks. I use my notoriety and the hatred towards me to bring attention to things that you guys don't want to hear, you don't want to see, you want to hide it. You want to pretend I'm crazy for saying it, and then lo and then the news reports on it. How much longer I told on Waylon Lolatai? Did the police actually report on that? Did the news actually report on that? Kaycera Stops Pretty Places is not a unique story in America. Just two different places, two different ways of doing it, right? Arizona's a pretty big hotbed, but it's more common. Instead of taking away somebody's shoes and running them off into a blizzard with no jacket, well, in Arizona, they run them off into the middle of the desert. No shoes, no water. It's the same thing. It's still outright murder. Same as if you'd have pulled their trigger, they have no chance of survival. Now, the one that I feel should be the most important at this point isn't Kaycera Stops Pretty Places. It isn't Selena Bell. It's Frida Knows His Gun. Frida Knows His Gun disappeared on her way from Washington State to Hardin, Montana, both places of which I've been in my travels since Natalie's death. Y'all need to pay better attention. I know you guys think I'm a retard, or you want me to be a retard, or you want me to be a bad guy or a serial killer, but you know what? I can do something good with that. Since you're almost closed, is it right if I just grab one of those shopping carts there to put my stuff in? One of the what? The shopping carts. Oh, no, go for it. Thank you, ma'am. That'll get me out of here quicker. Anyway, Frida Knows His Gun. She disappeared October 18th of 2016. That's the last time I ever saw Natalie Bollinger, by the way. So it's an easy day to remember because it was my birthday. Goddamn velociraptors. Frida Knows His Gun disappeared a long time ago. She's not as popular, not as well known, not as well loved because she's not as young and pretty as Selena or Kaycera. Now, Kaycera Stops Pretty Places. That is such a beautiful sounding name, isn't it? And then you've got Selena Not Afraid, and that is far more cryptic as far as her death went. Frida knows his gun. She's a little older. She's a little larger. She was traveling across multiple states. She had to travel across Montana, Idaho, and Washington to get home. But and she never made it. One of the people up there who really saved my bacon, her name was Mary Mountain Sheep. She provided me a place to stay. Her friends, including John Nomi, are the ones who first started telling me the story of all the missing women up there when I started telling them about Natalie and about what happened to her. And they took me in and they did treat me like family, despite their addictions and their issues. Mary Mountain Sheep died of cancer. When I first met her, she went by Mary Lion Shows. Now, this is going to sound horrible, but I'm glad that it was cancer and not something worse. I'm glad it wasn't something that deprived your family of knowing what happened. I'm glad that it wasn't something like what happened to Frida Nose's gun. She was on her way to her grandma's funeral when she disappeared. Sorry, her auntie's funeral. You know how much that sucks? It more than just sucks. Those people still don't know where their loved ones are. Same as me. I got a lot of people that I don't know who they are. They just disappeared. Where to, I don't know.
Why, Cain, where is Abel?
I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you should be. And your sisters as well. Even if they're different, even if they're strange. I'm so glad to have food now. So how is it I'm able to report on these things a whole year before the news picks it up, and almost 3 years before the United States government finally admitted it? Well, that's because I'm one of the filthy, nasty, goddamn bastards at the bottom of the fucking shink pit. You guys talk about how you know all about the gutter life. Motherfucker, I'm sewer life, straight up. I bathe daily in your bullshit, in your false notions. That crap that you fucking shove down your kids' throats about rhetorical goddamn nonsense. Only in America do we have to have a Department of Redundancy department, as well as a redundancy Department of Redundancy. Both of which will tell you it's the other person's job. That way, of course, it's redundant. If one system doesn't fail you, the other one will. Or rather, if one of them doesn't fail to fuck you, the other one will. When it comes to the reservations, we got a lot of special bullshit we got to deal with now. Like the reservations are falling behind, way behind technologically. Also, as far as construction measures go, they got a big fancy new prison outside of Hardin, Montana, but you can't be having that because then them natives will be getting money. So apparently they didn't have the special rights enough to build that their prison, so it just sits there. My God, what I could do with a prison. Turn the goddamn thing into an airplane factory.
Oh, yeah.
Make kayak airplanes out of recycled plastic bottles. Lick a dick. You don't like my cursing? That's fine. There's missing people. Go out and find them. Stop looking the other way, because you know goddamn well if it was your sister, you would freak. On the bright side, I protect people. Somebody's got to. Even if it's some nasty old buzzard living in a friggin' Honda Civic. I stand up for what's right. I know that statistically it's not some hobo that's going to molest your children. Statistically, it's the father. Who raped Natalie Bollinger? Her own father. She had a boyfriend named Tim Beast, and she tried to leave him, so he bought her a dog. So she went over to get her dog when she was done with him. He held her down and screamed in her face that she could have her dog when she took him back. She was on her way to Virginia 3 weeks later. A lot of planning it took to get that to happen. Oh, we got our good folks, the boys in blue, driving by. Maybe we should watch him do so. Obviously, I'm not happy with them fellers. I wonder if they've checked their website yet to see what all I spam the hell out of them with. I didn't spam them with all the CompuTaco stuff, and I wasn't able to spam the shit out of the stuff with the Tillamook, fuck what's it called, the newspaper here. The Tillamook shit pit or something. There's a woman in Montana, Billings, a white woman. Her son, 61 years old, was homeless in Colorado, Larimer County. Same place where the cops corrupted, broke the law, had me sent to Clearview Behavioral Health and injected with mind-altering drugs. Drugs that will make you seem schizophrenic for days. In 30% of the cases, it lasts for several weeks. In 8% of the cases, the condition is permanent. I've had a lot of homeless people that came back not right in the head after trying to turn in a Boulder police officer. They're literally killing our people. And you asswipes look the other way. It's not just black people. It's not just white people. It's not just native people. It's all poor people in the United States. Any excuse they can use to try to not do their job for anybody but the rich and the upper middle class, they'll take. I'm ashamed of every single person in this country for not realizing that we all have to share this fucking planet.